Why are you not making the amount of money you desire and deserve in your heart-centered business? Let's get into it. If you're new around here, my name is Sarah. I help heart-centered service providers, creatives, spiritual practitioners build businesses and do business in a way that feels good. And today I want to talk about this idea that you're not making the money that you want to be making. You're not making the money you desire. You're not making the money you feel like you deserve. Why not? What's going on? This is something I hear from people all the time. They are frustrated about money, or they have, sometimes with heart-centered service providers and spiritual practitioners, a lot of weird money stuff, old, unhelpful money beliefs get brought into business. And we have things about our worth, charging our worth. What does it mean to charge your worth? You can't, by the way, you are priceless. But how do we value our work in an appropriate way? How do we put prices on things? Being worried about feeling greedy, how much money is too much? Why do you want to make more? All kinds of stuff can get brought into business that is just not helpful. So I'm going to share first a way to think about money in business and what it is. And then we're going to look at some reasons why you may not be making the money you desire and deserve. So I just want to start with a way to think about money in business. When it comes to business, money is a representation of the impact you're making and the value you're providing. That's it. That's all. That's what it is. Money is the representation of the impact you're making and the value you're providing. So if that is the case, then there's a couple of things we can look at if you feel like you're not making the money that you desire and deserve. Number one is, are you actually making an impact that is relative to the amount of money you desire and deserve? So for instance, maybe you are making a profound impact on the people that you're working with. You're just not working with enough people to generate the amount of money that you want to be bringing in. That's one option. Another option is, when you're honest, you're not making a big impact on people, either because you're not working with clients, probably because you're not actually selling, you're not getting people in the door, you're not letting people know about your offer. So the impact that you're making is not on par with the amount of money that you want to be making. We just have to be honest about that. No, I am not, right? I want to be making six figures. Am I making six figures worth of impact in people's lives? No, I am not. That is something to get honest about so that we can reframe how we're looking at this. If I was getting out there and making six figures representative worth of impact, if I was meaningfully connecting with people and helping them and solving their problems and changing their lives, I would be seeing a greater financial return on my work. That is one option. Another option is the value you're providing. Now, this is tricky because value is entirely subjective, right? I use this example all the time, but like I have a bazillion hair ties on my wrist all the time. I think I got these in like a, 10 pack for a couple of bucks, maybe $6, $7 at Walgreens. This is the amount of money that I find is appropriate for hair ties. But there are Gucci scrunchies that cost hundreds of dollars. I am not the target market for them. People buy them. So the value of that hair tie to me is not worth $600. To somebody, it is. For some people, the value of, say, coaching is that they would spend $500 on coaching. There are other people who would spend $50,000 on coaching. That value is entirely subjective. What you would spend for something, what you value it at, is completely about how important you think it is and where you believe that service or item should be priced according to what you feel it's worth to you. Not worth in general, just worth to you. And so that's a really important thing for us to keep in mind in business all the time. Every single product and service exists at basically every price point. You can get a car for a couple grand used, you can get a $200,000 car. You can get a psychic reading for $1. You can get a psychic reading for $10,000. All of these things exist on every price point you can possibly imagine, and there is an audience for all of them because the value of a product or service is entirely subjective. That being said, how much value am I creating to my ideal customers? Am I creating a level of value for my ideal customers that makes them want to put a dollar amount on it and pay me for the value that I'm providing? If the answer is no, we have something to look at, right? Okay, I'm not making the impact and I'm not providing the value. I have things I want. I want to be making more money. I want to be serving more clients, but I'm not actually providing value. I'm not actually creating an impact. That leads us into getting to look at why. Why is that happening for me? Am I shying away from my marketing? Am I engaged with my sales? Am I reaching the right customers? Are my offers priced correctly? We get to look at all of those things and start to hone in on what's preventing us from providing the value and creating the impact that we believe would be necessary in order to result in a monetary contribution that matches the value we're creating and the impact we're making. Now, if the answer is yes, we have a different thing to look at, and that is our pricing. So if we really do believe we are providing tremendous value to people, and we believe we are making an impact, we're getting that feedback from people all the time. Oh my gosh, this is so valuable to me. This is so helpful to me from tons and tons of people. This is so valuable. This is so helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you for your work. Then what we also need to be looking at is, are we priced appropriately or have we monetized appropriately? Something that I really see happening in the online business space is that a lot of people are looking at content creator and influencer strategies for building a business. And the strategy that we use to market a business on social media or on YouTube or on SEO, right? The strategy that we use for social media marketing for a business is actually very different than the strategy for building a large following as a content creator or an influencer. Those approaches are not the same and they do not yield the same results. And sometimes people don't know that. So they go into business and they think, I need to go build a big following. And they follow advice designed for content creators and influencers. They build a big account. They're just providing free content, free value, free content, free value. They build a big audience of people who are like, oh my gosh, thank you. This is so valuable to me. You helped me so much. But they're not monetized. There are a lot of people out there who have tens of thousands of followers and are not making any money from that following because it's not monetized. And when I say it's not monetized, I don't necessarily mean through ads or through, brand partnerships, though that can be a thing if that's something you want to do. I mean, they have not leveraged this audience into customers. People who want to follow you and be your fan are not necessarily the same as people who want to buy from you and be your client. And the way that we talk to and engage with and provide value on a business account that's designed to turn people from completely cold to leads to customers is very different than what we do when our goal is to get people from completely cold to engaged audience member or follower. And so there is a chance that you are providing a lot of value and you're having a big impact, but you never monetized the following that you built. And there may be some work to be done in transitioning your following from audience to customer base. If that's something you need help with, holler. I'm happy to help you. The other is maybe you have monetized it and you do have people buying from you, but your prices are way too low. And only you know whether or not your prices are way too low. But the way that I would determine this is by looking at How many hours a week are you physically able to work that you want to be working in a way that feels good and sustainable and gives you health and longevity? How many hours a week do you want to be working? How many clients or customers can you serve, or how many products can you create during that amount of time? And then how much money do you need to make a month? What is your life cost? What are your bills cost? What are your business expenses? With setting aside everything for taxes, what do you actually need to make every month for all of those things to be covered and hopefully saving for your future? What's that number? And then are my services priced appropriately that if I'm working all of the hours I want to work per week or per month, that I'm actually making that dollar amount? And this is a very straightforward way to do it. This is how I do it. This does mean that if you live a cheaper place, your pricing may be lower than someone who lives in California or New York or Hawaii or Alaska or somewhere very expensive to live. That's fine. But a very straightforward way to figure out if your pricing is appropriate is, does my pricing allow me to cover my life and my lifestyle working the number of hours that I have available to work or that I want to work this business? If the answer is no, then we need to go into looking at your prices and do some reevaluation of your pricing structure. And potentially we need to create some new offers in your business that might allow you to bring in a higher amount of revenue so that the amount of revenue that you're generating matches the value that you're providing and the impact that you're making. So these are just a few different ways that you can do a little internal audit of, why am I not making the amount of money that I want to be making in my business? Am I actually making the impact I want to make? Are my services impactful? Am I helping people? Am I providing value to people? Am I providing value to the marketplace? If the answer is no, there's some work to do around offer creation, marketing, sales, getting out there. If the answer is yes, there's some work to do around pricing and product suite. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If it was, please leave me a comment and let me know. I love hearing your guys' comments. It's really helpful to me to hear if this stuff is valuable to you and helpful for you. So get at me. I'm engaging. You can talk to me. I'll talk back. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, love you. Bye.